Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Tiger Woods was arrested for DUI or suspicion of DUI the other night. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. He, at first the reports were, oh, he was driving and he was driving erratically. But then come to find out today, right before I came on air, apparently he was pulled off to the side of the road with the engine on and his blinker on. I think in park. Pretty sure in park. And he was like sleeping. So he pulled off to the side of the road, engine on, blinker on, sleeping. And when the officer like woke him up to talk to him, he was just fucking zonked out of his mind, son. Now, he released a statement after this happened, and he said, look, I want to, by the way, hilariously bad mugshot. He said, look, I want the public to know alcohol wasn't involved. But here's who called that in the first place. Me. So, I'm a lot of people who listen to the show know I love golf. I'm a golfer. I was a big Tiger Woods fan growing up. You watched him fucking dominate week in and week out. Sun goes up, sun goes down. Tiger Woods dominates. Those are like the things that were sure things. But he's had a bunch of knee surgeries. That was in like the mid 2000s or maybe even some in the early 2000s. But recently he's had 4 back surgeries. 3 of them the same procedure, one of them a slightly different and slightly less invasive procedure, which was the most recent one. And what happened is for a bunch of those back surgeries, he came back too soon and kind of re-injured it, which is why he needed more surgeries. So 4 back surgeries is like, you know, you're getting to the point where it's like, oh, you're lucky you could walk, never mind play golf. But you know what happens as a result of having 4 invasive surgeries in your back? You get a lot of pills, son. They'll get, and so you can get a prescription easy for Vicodin, Percocet, Molly Percocet. No, I'm kidding. I was starting to sing. For those of you who don't know. So there were press conferences that I've seen, you know, back when Tiger made some of his returns, where he's talking in the press conference, and I'm like, oh, he's high as fuck. He's got the red eyes, a little bit of the squinty eyes going on, really kind of slow. When he talks, it's like a little slurred and like, yeah, I was thinking that on hole number 16 was, and I caught it. I told my buddy about it. He saw the footage. He's like, oh, hell yeah. And I was amazed that nobody else saw it. And my concern at the time was pain pill addiction. That's what it looked like. And now with this, I'm like 100% on that. Now, he says, oh, it was a mix of medications and it was a bad reaction and blah, 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 blah. Well, I think he was only on 4 medications. One of them he's no longer on, so he's on 3 medications. And the doctors, when you're dealing with 3 medications, the doctor's going to know if there's that kind of a reaction with 3 of them. I mean, if you're up to like 7 or 8, like sometimes older people are on like 7 or 8 medications, yeah, sometimes they conflict and people don't fucking, you know, there's a bad reaction and they don't know that there's going to be a bad reaction. When you're talking about 3 medications and the best doctors in the world, because he's a billionaire athlete, one of the most famous people in the world, they're going to know. So my guess is he was high as fuck on pain pills, tried to drive, pulled over to the side of the road, was arrested for suspicion of DUI, and he's been released. But man, it's sad. It's just sad to see. Because like I said, Tiger Woods people forget how good he was. Like golf is impossible. For anybody who's played golf, it's just impossible. Like it looks easy on TV, like, oh, just hit the ball in the thing. Try playing it and let me know how that goes. So a golf tournament, there's like over 100 people in the field, I think. He won 25% of the tournaments he played in. That's not, like, when there's over 100 people in a fucking field, you don't win 25% of the tournament. That's not a thing. He has the record for number of cuts made. There was one time after his dad died, he went out there and won 7 or 8 tournaments in a row. Again, that doesn't happen in golf. In his prime, he obliterated fields. He got to 14 majors by such a young age that he was well ahead of Jack Nicklaus's pace to hit 18 majors. So he was just a god on the course, and his talent, it was unmatched. And now to see him go through this is just like super sad to watch. It's like watching the destruction of a hero from your childhood, at least in certainly to me, that's what I see. So anyway, I hope he gets better. I hope everything gets sorted out. And I just feel bad for the guy at this point. He still wants to come back and play because this most recent back surgery was a different kind of back surgery that relieved the nerve pain he was experiencing beforehand. So I think he'll still get back out there, but he obviously has to deal with this kind of stuff before he gets back out there because to me, this looks like an addiction. I know they're going with the line that this isn't an addiction and wasn't just the pain pills, but it's true the breathalyzer showed no, alcohol in his system, but the report says he was sluggish, slurred his speech, dopey, they put in the police report, couldn't walk without help. What? And just all around, it looks like somebody who's just high off their ass on opiates. So anyway, I hope he gets better, and there are the facts of this story.